March 2025 witnessed something extraordinary in Hong Kong. After 6 years of construction, the city unveiled what might be the greatest sports achievement in Asian history. Kai Tak Sports Park represents architectural ambition at its finest. A $4 billion masterpiece that redefines what's possible in sports infrastructure. This triumph of engineering and design might simultaneously be Hong Kong's most spectacular financial disaster. Despite a successful launch, including Coldplay's sold-out concert and hosting the Hong Kong Sevens tournament, the current booking pace falls well short of the target of 100 to 150 annual events. Even more telling, the original developers sold their entire stake in November 2024, citing concerns about additional financing needs for operations. Kai Tak Sports Park is an architectural masterpiece that can host world-class events. The problem seems to be that world-class events aren't choosing Hong Kong. This wasn't supposed to be just another sports complex. This was Hong Kong's declaration of supremacy in Asian entertainment. The vision was ambitious, transforming 28 hectares into a world-class destination that would make Singapore's sports hub look modest. Creating venues so spectacular that international events would choose Hong Kong over every other Asian city, positioning Hong Kong as Asia's entertainment capital. With sports tourism projected to become an $11.7 trillion global industry by 2032, officials envisioned the park as an international spotlight that would transform Hong Kong's economy. The Centerpiece Stadium represents engineering ambition at its finest. 50,000 seats under a retractable roof weighing 4,800 tons that opens or closes silently in 30 minutes. The facade features 27,000 triangular aluminium panels that shift color with natural light, creating Hong Kong's new Pearl of the Orient effect. The arena offers pillar-free sightlines for 10,000 spectators, with 80% of seats removable for complete reconfiguration. A 5,000-seat youth sports ground provides world-class athletics facilities. The complex includes 8 hectares of public space and a 700,000 square foot shopping mall with over 200 outlets. But grandiose visions require grandiose revenues to survive. And that's where the math starts falling apart. The financial reality is unforgiving. Hong Kong taxpayers funded the entire $4 billion construction cost upfront with no guarantee of returns. Under a 25-year operating contract, the private operator, Kai Tak Sports Park Limited, must cover all operating expenses from venue revenues while paying the government 3% of gross income, plus $1.7 billion over the operational period. If the complex fails to attract enough events, the operator loses money on operations while the taxpayers are still stuck with the massive construction bill. In order to break even, industry analysts calculate the complex needs 100 to 150 major events annually across all 3 venues. That's roughly 3 large-scale events every single week, year-round. On the other hand, the government's minimum requirements seem modest by comparison. 40 event days in the main stadium and 600 total spectators yearly. Miss these targets and financial penalties of up to $500,000 per day kick in. Early projections suggest the operator could achieve annual net profits of $276 million within 3 years, making the investment appear viable. But those calculations assumed consistent programming with near-capacity crowds that current booking events simply don't support. The harsh reality is that the complex costs millions to operate, whether it's hosting events or sitting empty, while Hong Kong still owes money on the $3.8 billion construction loan regardless of how well the venues perform. When people who built something start running away from it, that's usually a red flag. New World Development, the original majority stakeholder, sold their entire stake to Chow Tai Fook Enterprises in November 2024, nearly 5 months before its inauguration. Their official reason was that the sports park would require additional external financing to support initial operations. which conflicted with their debt reduction strategy. In other words, even the developers who understood the project intimately didn't believe it could generate sufficient returns to justify continued investment. This wasn't a minor adjustment or strategic repositioning, this was a complete exit by the company that championed the project through its development phase. When your own builders lose faith in the business model, that sends shockwaves through the whole investment community. The timing makes it worse. This happened just as the complex was preparing to open, precisely when confidence should have been highest. Instead, it signaled to the market that even insiders had serious doubts about long-term viability. The new owners now inherit not just an impressive facility, but a massive financial obligation with an uncertain revenue stream. Hong Kong isn't competing in a vacuum. The regional sports and entertainment market is brutally competitive, and established players aren't surrendering their advantages easily. Singapore's sports hub has been operational since 2014. It's already secured long-term anchor tenants and diversified its event portfolio. When international promoters plan Asian tours, Singapore appears on their calendars by default. Malaysia's venues offer lower operational costs and government incentives. Thailand provides established relationships with international sports federations. The regional market isn't expanding fast enough to accommodate every new venue. Therefore, success relies on stealing market share from established competitors, not just participating in a growing pie. And the challenges go beyond just booking events. When Kai Tak Sports Park venues operate simultaneously, 65,000 people could converge on an area where MTR stations weren't designed for such crowds. Transportation chaos creates the kind of negative experiences that make international event organizers think twice about Hong Kong. And meanwhile, the complex faces a classic catch-22. Major events want proven venues with established audiences, but you can't build audiences without major events. Breaking this cycle means overpaying for initial bookings, which only worsens the financial strain. And if economic conditions deteriorate, entertainment spending disappears fast, leaving the complex with massive fixed costs and vanishing revenues. When public infrastructure projects fail financially, taxpayers bear the consequences. And Hong Kong taxpayers are about to discover what $4 billion of risk really means. If Kai Tak Sports Park can't generate sufficient revenue, the government faces several painful options. Sell the facility at a massive loss, essentially writing off billions in public investment, or let it deteriorate while carrying the debt burden for decades. The opportunity cost is staggering. $4 billion could have funded thousands of public housing units in a city facing a housing crisis. It could have improved healthcare infrastructure, or education facilities, or transportation systems that directly benefit residents daily. Instead, Hong Kong bet that a sports complex would generate enough economic activity to justify the massive investment. Early indicators suggest that the bet may not pay off. If Kai Tak Sports Park becomes a financial disaster, it will undermine confidence in Hong Kong's ability to execute major infrastructure projects. That could affect everything, from future sport development proposals to the city's credit rating. Hong Kong built something magnificent. The Kai Tak Sports Park represents world-class engineering, innovative design, and ambitious vision. The facilities are genuinely impressive by any global standard, but impressive facilities don't guarantee financial success. And financial failure at this scale could have consequences that extend far beyond sports and entertainment. The warning signs are already visible. Empty event calendars, developer exodus, industry skepticism about booking levels, transportation concerns, and regional competition intensifying. The next 18 months will determine whether Kai Tak Sports Park becomes a model for other cities or a cautionary tale about the risks of betting big without securing the fundamentals. Right now, the fundamentals look shaky, the calendar looks empty, and the taxpayers are holding the bill for a $4 billion gamble that might not pay off.